Hey, Nathan here with your weekly update. This month is National Novel Writing Month, or NaNoWriMo, and I got started pretty early in the month, and I'm pretty happy with what I've got so far. I am roughly, bang, 10% into my overall novel, and I've also got around maybe 1/5 of the National Novel Writing Month goal finished, because I am at, I believe, by the time this comes out, I will be on around 15,000 words completed. So I'm really happy with that. And in other news... Bro, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing my weekly update for the National Novel Writing Month. You know, NaNoWriMo, I told you about it. Right, yeah, no, I get that, but... Is your name Brandon Sanderson? Well, not yet. You see, I'm going to the courthouse tomorrow. Okay, look, my advice, you don't have to take it, but you'd be dumb if you don't. Maybe try something new, something that is you. Yeah? Give it a go. I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. Hey guys, yes, I am roughly around 14,500 words into my NaNoWriMo project, and it's going really well. I'm really enjoying myself. I haven't done anything on it today because I'm making this video, but as soon as this is filmed and edited, I'm going to be back into it. It's going really nicely, I'm enjoying myself, and yeah. So I thought I'd quickly just give a little bit of a background to how I came up with this story. I was having my dinner one night, and I felt nostalgic, so I thought I'd watch a few episodes of Phineas and Ferb, which was a show that I grew up on, I loved. And there's this episode where they're having a Halloween costume party. There's this whole joke about everyone dressed as the Scarlet Pimpernel. And I was looking at him and I thought, oh, I really like that costume. I love characters like that, I love characters who dress like that. You know, the Three Musketeers and Zorro, they're some of my favourites in terms of design. And I thought, oh yeah, that's quite good. But see, everyone else there was dressed as monsters. And they were in a gothic castle. And it got me thinking, what if you had someone like Zorro, but he had to face Frankenstein? And it just sort of carried on, the idea burst, and so I grabbed my sword and started acting out a couple of scenes just to see how I enjoyed it. And we know what happened there. And so for the next couple of months, I would act out these scenes, like what if, what if you had a kid from the street, he grows up and he hates the corruption in the city. And so he becomes the hero that the city needs. It's a little bit Batman-ish, but think if Oliver Twist became Batman, but Batman had a sword, so like Zorro. But they're in a gothic city, so Batman. I really liked the idea, and I thought this would be great, because I don't have that many ideas lined up that I can work on right now. Some of them are more sequel series or things that I don't feel comfortable writing just yet. I haven't worked them out enough. But I was looking at this idea, and I was thinking, yeah, I can work on this right now. I can work on this for NaNoWriMo. And I thought, oh, this will be great, this will be fun. So that's what I've been working on, is this Frankenstein meets Zorro, Batman, Gothic City sort of thing, and it's going quite well, I'm enjoying it. But yeah, that's how a lot of my stories start out, is I will see something, I'll watch something, I'll read something, and it will just burst an idea. Now sometimes it's different. I have had a couple where I had a dream and I thought, oh, this is actually quite a good idea. So I wrote down what happened in the dream, and then I eventually turned it into a story. That's happened with 2 of my books. My first one, I'd been thinking for a while, like this story in my head, because I like to tell myself stories, right? And I'd been thinking in my head, what would happen if I was the last person on the planet? What would I do? I'd been thinking about that one night, and then the next day one of my mates, he just randomly asked me, what would you do if you were the last person on the planet? And it got me thinking, so that's how another idea formed. Stories that I tell myself that aren't serious at all, they're just me enjoying, a story and seeing where it goes. Sometimes they do form into stories, like proper books. But excluding the couple of books that have formed out of dreams, and this other one where it just formed out of a story that I was telling myself, most of my stories have come from me reading something or watching something, and I've taken a piece out of them and I thought, I like that. The book that I'm currently querying to agents, genetics, it's what if the Chicago 60s gangs had superpowers. And it's set in the future, but it's the same sort of concept of these 60s gangs, and just some of them have these, at times, X-Men-like abilities. This story originated with me reading Nicky Cruz's Run Baby Run, where this man, it's the story of his life. He grew up in the gangs, and I started thinking, this is really interesting. The gang side of thing I'm really interested in. But I'd also been watching X-Men at the time. And one thing led to another, and a book was born. This is how I get my inspiration, and a lot of other people get their inspiration, is from seeing what other people have done and taking pieces of them, right? Usually I'll let it formulate for a couple of months, and then I'm in. There have been a couple of stories that are still in my head that I had when I was a kid, and I'm just not ready to write them yet, and I don't know if I ever will be, but they're still in the background. So that's a little bit of a look into my writing process, specifically where I get my inspiration from. Sometimes dreams, sometimes stories I tell myself, but most often is from looking at other people's art and seeing how I would take an element and change it up a little bit. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little look into how I do things. I hope your week's going well. If you're doing NaNoWriMo, good luck, and I'll see you out there. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day.